Okay, everyone, we're on our last leg of the trip. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Tennessee Nate Radio channel. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you watching the videos. That's the last bag. Anyway, we're loading up the vehicle right now. And then we're going to park this thing and then head on out of here. There's Crown Vic. All right, we're headed out, everybody. Enjoy the trip home. Gotta unlock the door. All right. Here we go. Oh my God, let's get in here. It's warm today. Pretty warm, 80 something. It was 81 when we went in. And now it's probably about 82, 80, well, 79, 80. Yeah, it's, can't tell yet. You gotta wait for it to renew. But welcome everybody. It's 83 degrees, so the temperature actually went up in the parking lot here. My car, it gives me the temperature reading off the road, pretty much. Because I think the temperature thing is mounted in the grill of this car. Tells the inside and outdoor temperature. But anyway, everybody, enjoy the trip home. We're gonna go down this way. All right, come up this way. And we're going up by the school. Up this really steep hill. This is a steep hill here. The skies are beautiful. The bumps almost feel like nothing in this car. This car got good shocks and suspension on it. Can't beat a good heavy car for the ride. You can go right over these and it just feels like hardly nothing. They're gonna build something over there, probably another, bunch of apartments is what's coming up there. Extra ones. They're expanding onto that property. They're building all around the back. Tennessee is getting crowded. A lot of people are moving here from other states, like California, New York. It's getting really, and then what gets me though is these people come in and they move here from the blue states. And then they'll continue to vote the same way. You know, they'll flee the turmoil that their representatives and their governors and their senators caused, and then they'll come here to a red state, and they will actually vote for the same Democrats who made it a living hell where they, just came from. And I could understand that. If you're fleeing from something that you didn't like, then you vote a different way. You move to a red state where you like their politics better, but then why do you continue to vote for a Democrat? It just makes no sense. I could never understand that. I don't get into politics on my channel unless I can, just not get around it. But it's getting to the point nowadays where you have to at least say something. You have to stand up for what you believe in and not just let everybody run over you. But it's common sense, If I was from a red state and I moved to a blue state, if I wanted to get away from the politics of the red state, if I moved to a blue state like Maine or somewhere like that, I wouldn't vote the same way, for somebody who I don't approve of. if I wanted a change of the way I'm living, you know. It's like, you move to a state and then you try to change the people around you. I've seen that happen before where somebody moved right next to a country person. It was a true story. They moved from California and they moved to a dead-end street right next to a country fella. And he owned chickens and horses and pigs and stuff like that. Well, them pigs and chickens was make noise. Well, what did the people who moved in do? Called the law on the man for disturbance, Called in and said his chickens are making noise. His roosters are crowing at 6 in the morning, when the sun comes up. And he told the police, he said, well, where did they come from? They come from California. They're new here. He said, well, they're trying to change me. They come over here and they was complaining about my stuff a couple of days back, He said they moved in here and then they're trying to change the way I've lived for 50 years. Said, I'm not going to change the way I lived. And the police officer went back over to the people and said, you're the new ones here, we can't tell him what to do. He's got an established farm here. And you moved in right next to him. You should have done some research and figured out who you're moving next to before you move in, So I reckon they moved out because they couldn't change the way he wanted, to live. And rightfully so. He said, I run them out of here. He said, I don't let them tell me what to do. You can't let nobody run over you, especially people who's new to the area. But that's the way it is. You can't move in beside of somebody and then try to change the way they live. You got to research and you move to where you want to live. If you think one way, move to an area where you agree with the politics. Don't move in on somebody else and try to change them. It don't work. It's like that song, You Couldn't Change Me. Montgomery Gentry. That was a bad tragedy too. When Gentry died, he got killed in that helicopter crash. Y'all remember that? That's been within the last 7-8 years. But I grew up on their music, listening to it. And that song just tells the way it is, Couldn't change me. You can't move in on somebody and change them. But y'all leave in the comments what y'all think about that. That's what makes us good Americans, We listen to everybody and we at least sit down and talk. With the Democrat Party, you can't even talk to them once they find out you're a Republican or you love America. They just shut down and won't even speak to you half the time. But that's what makes Americans Americans. The right to think differently. You got the right to think however you want to in this country. It ain't my job to tell you how to live, I just share my opinion with you, and if you don't agree with it, you live your life and live it the way you want. That's the way it's supposed to be. As long as you don't live with me and pay my bills, and if I don't live with you, pay your bills, I can't change what you think. I can only say what I think and let you know my opinion, and vice versa. It's just the way life is. It's the way American life has always been. That's what freedom is all about, And the Constitution, First Amendment, states that I'm allowed to share my opinion, but I'm not allowed to infringe on your beliefs or your rights. And it's supposed to be the other way around too. That's like them auditors, who film in public at police stations or post offices. People say, oh, I don't like you filming me. I don't like you filming me. Well, you have no expectation of privacy in public. One of my good friends, JC News Now, that's what he does. He tells them how it is. He's from Missouri, and he just tells them how it is. I'm on the sidewalk. You can't do nothing. I'm in a public space. You can't do nothing. My rights don't end just because you're uncomfortable with what I say or what I do. I purchased my phone. It's got a camera. Everybody's phone's got a camera. So everybody's allowed to do what they want to do. But that's my rant for the day, everybody. I just wanted to share that with y'all. And That's the only time I ever do it. But it was just on my mind. I appreciate each and every one of you watching the channel. I love each and every one of you, no matter who you are or what you believe. So just believe how you want, and have a great day. I really appreciate each and every one of you watching the videos. But that's what makes us all great, being able to think different. But anyway, y'all be good, love God, and God will love you right back. Thank you all. Bye-bye.